Good day everyone, my name is Mia Lovely Gia, and today's discussion is the continuation of Chapter 3, which is the Market Opportunities Analysis and Consumer Analysis. So let's define first what is the marketing environment. The marketing environment includes the actors and forces outside marketing that affect marketing's management ability to build and maintain successful relationships with customers. So, ang kailangan nyo lang naman tandaan dito kay marketing environment, siya yung mga forces na nakaka-apekto sa pagbibigay, pagbibuild, or pag-maintain natin ng relationship or good relationship rather with our dear customers. Under the marketing microenvironment, we have 6 factors, which is the company, suppliers, marketing intermediaries, competition, public, and customer. Now, let's go to marketing microenvironment. The marketing microenvironment includes forces that are internal to the company or those that are relevant to its operation. They affect the company's ability to build and maintain sustainable relationship with current and prospective customer. So, ito daw si marketing microenvironment is yung mga internal forces ng company or yung mga relevant sa operation or mga nakaka-apekto sa operation ng pagbibigay ng products and pagbibuild and pag-gain din ng customer ng company. Ito na, yung kanina pa natin pinag-uusapan, which is si customer. So, si customer creates the demands for product and services. They can be either customer or end users, business or organization. So, si customer na yung nagde-demand ng product. Ito na yung binibigyan natin ng serbisyo. Sila ay mga customer. After the company is meron din tayong suppliers under the marketing microenvironment. So, si suppliers naman provides raw materials, utilities, labor, capital, and equipment. So, alam naman natin, basta sila lang yung nagpo-provide ng mga raw materials doon sa company. Para yung company naman is gagamitin yung raw materials na yun to produce the product that they offer. So, sa supplier, meron tayong dalawa na dapat i-monitor, which is the availability and price or cost of supplies. So, bakit? Kaya availability naman, kunwari, yung company is maraming orders from its customer. Siyempre, kailangan din yun ng maraming supplies. Kung kulang yung availability or hindi available yung supply na kailangan ng company is hindi makakapag-deliver agad ng company yung hinahanap ng customer. So, therefore, masisira yung reputation ng company and mawawala din yung tiwala ng customer dito. So, ngayon naman, kay cost naman, kapag mahal kasi ang supplies, syempre, mahal din ang product. Sa tingin nyo ba, kapag mahal ang product, bibilhin pa? So, yun, dapat nating i-monitor. Kaya, sabi dito, effective partnership or relationship management with suppliers is essential. Next naman, meron tayong market intermediaries. So, eto, market intermediaries sila yung mga distributors, wholesalers, at saka retailers. So, eto, si market intermediaries, sila yung channels na nagli-link doon sa organization or the company sa ating mga dear customers. So, mostly, yung mga products is dito pinapadaan para nga mas mapadali yung distribution ng products at mas mapadala or may expose, ma-promote yung product na mayroon yung isang company. Second to the last is the competition. Competitors form a part of the microenvironment because they directly affect a company's market positioning and pricing strategy. So, ang sinasabi lang naman dito kay competition, let's say, isa tayong company. Tapos, yung competitors natin is nag-release ng new product nila or nag-release ng new promotion na kanilang ino-offer sa kanilang mga customer. So, dapat tayo, as a company din, kaya natin tapatan yun. Tatapatan natin yung ginawa nila para yung customer na meron tayo is hindi mawala ng interest doon mismo sa atin. Kasi nga, kapag nawala ng interest sa atin yung company, lilipat sila dun sa kabila. So, kailangan kaya nating i-maintain yung customer na meron tayo. For the last one, meron tayong publics. This group includes entities like shareholders, the community, financial institution, media, the government, and society. They all have a direct or indirect influence on the company's operations and public image. So, alam naman natin na bilang company, mahalaga na meron tayong magandang public image. Kasi, ito yung nakikita ng ating customer at ito yung tinitingnan nila kung dapat bang tangkilikin yung product na ino-offer natin as a company. So, isa pang example dito is yung mga influencers na merong ini-endorse na product, which is nire-review nila, and kapag maganda yung outcome is mas nag-i-improve yung ating public image. They are really helpful in improving a company's public image. After natin ma-identify yung 6 na factors under the marketing microenvironment, now let's proceed to identifying strength and weaknesses. So, pag sinabing strength, ano nga ba itong mga strength na to? These are the unique qualities or capabilities that a company possesses, which give it an edge over its competitors. They could be a strong brand reputation, proprietary technology, skilled workforce, or financial resources. A company can leverage these strengths to create value for its customer and gain a competitive advantage. So, itong mga strength na to is yung mga unique quality na meron yung isang company. Ito yung mga nakakapag-distinguish ng kayang gawin ng sariling company doon sa kanilang competitors. So, itong mga strength na to ay dapat ginagamit ng company to gain its competitive advantage sa market para mas mapadami yung customers and therefore makapanghikayat pa ng marami pang consumers or customers. Now naman, weakness naman. These are the areas where a company lacks or perform poorly compared to its competitors. They could be weak customer service, high operational costs, or outdated technology. A company needs to identify and address these weaknesses to improve its competitiveness. So, kung si strength is yung mga unique capabilities na meron yung company, si weakness naman yung hindi naman wala or kulang lang, sabihin natin. Kulang doon sa company na kailangan pang i-improve. Tulad nga ng sabi dito, pwedeng weak customer service or high operational cost or pwede rin yung mga hindi updated or outdated technology na meron yung company. So, itong mga weakness na to ay dapat malaman and para ma-enhance and gawin siyang, imbes na manatili siyang weakness, is maging strength din siya in the future.
So ngayon, dadako naman tayo sa tinatawag na marketing macro environment. So what is the marketing macro environment? Diba? The macro environment includes factors that are external to organization. They can be affect a company operational viabilities. So dito sa marketing macro environment, ito kasi yung tinatawag na external sa business and uncontrollable factors that influence an organization, decision making, and affect its performance and strategy. So dito kasi sa marketing macro environment, ito yung malawak and sabi ko nga uncontrollable. So maraming factors ang macro environment, pero ang include lang dito is ang 6 na relevant and considered dito sa ating topic ngayon. So ang macro environment, there are lots of factors, pero there are 6 factors that are tackle today. So, first is economic macro-environment, politico-legal macro-environment, socio-cultural macro-environment, demographic macro-environment, technological macro-environment, natural in macro-environment. So, 6 siya, di ba? So, pero kasi, dito sa 6 na to, dito naka-indicate some levels of uncertain and may affect the organization. Ito kasi nakadepende sa nature ng business or sa product or service offering ng mga business. So first is economic macro environment. So what is economic macro environment? The economic macro environment represent economic factors that can directly affect an organization. Ang economic macro environment kasi ito yung pag-ikot ng business sa ekonomiya. For example, dito inflation rate, foreign exchange, consumer spending shift, and consumer price index among the others. So, dito kasi, ang economic factors ay significance dahil naka-indicate siya sa mga business as well and consumer buying power. So, dito nakapaloob na yung mga business tumataas ng tumataas dahil sa pag-ikot ng ekonomiya. Kunwari na, for example na nandito inflation rate. Ang inflation rate kasi is yung, kunwari sa farmers, mababa yung bigay nila sa mambibili ng palay. So, dito sa mambibili ng palay, so hindi pa naman siya bigas, palay pa naman siya, kakaani lang. So, sa pagbili ng palay, ngayon, ginagawa nilang bigas. So, ibebenta naman nila sa pangangailangan ng tao. Ngayon naman, sa mga pangangailangan ng tao, tumataas yung demands. Tumataas yung product. Pagdating na sa ekonomiya, pagdating na sa labas, mataas na yung product. Mababa nga yung benta ng mga farmers, pero pataas naman ng pataas hanggang sa pangangailangan ng mga tao. Yun yung tinatawag na economic macro environment. Dito umiikot yung mga pagtaas ng mga bilihin. So, second is political legal macro environment. So, what is political legal macro environment? No? The political legal macro environment includes both political and legal factors. A highly uncertain political situation such as impending national election may affect the established of business. So, dito sa political legal macro environment, ito nakaka-apekto yung mga pagpapalit ng mga politiko sa nakaka-apekto to sa mga business dahil kunwari na lang sa panahon ni Duterte, mas prioritize niya yung mas naging prioritize niya yung pagbigay ng fund sa military kaysa sa ekonomiya. So ngayon, mas lumakas ang military kaysa sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. So, dito naman sa pagpalit ng kay Marcos, parang mas, kunwari, prioritize niya ang ekonomiya kaysa sa military fund. So, parang binigyan niya pansin or binigyan niya ng toon ang ekonomiya kaysa sa military. Ngayon, parang lumalabas dito na dahil sa pagtaas ng ekonomiya, nagkakautang ang Pilipinas. So, nagiging mahina ang military at lumalakas ang ekonomiya. Dito sa political legal macro environment, sa pagpalit kasi ng mga politiko, nakaka-apekto to sa business, lalo na sa mga bilihin na nagmamahal. So, yun nga sabi ko na sa turn ni Duterte, mas malakas ang militaris kaysa sa ekonomiya. So, walang utang ang Pilipinas. Pero sa pag-turn ni Marcos, parang mas malakas yung ekonomiya kaysa sa kaysa sa military. Parang pinagtuunan niya ang ekonomiya. Ngayon, tumataas yung yung utang ng Pilipinas. So ngayon, dito makikita natin na nagmamahal yung mga bilihin. So ito nakakaapekto sa mga kasi uh, gumagawa sila ng ibang way para yung mga business is magbigay ng tax or whatsoever. Ito yung legal macro environment. Third is socio-cultural macro environment. So, ano nga ba ang socio-cultural and macro environment? Each geographical area has a specific culture that dictates how business is conducted. Culture is defined as the belief, customs, arts, etc. of particular society groups, place, on time. So, dito kasi sa socio-cultural, dito natin makikita yung pagiging Pilipino ng isang tao, di ba? When it comes sa pabilihin sa palengke. Minsan kasi sa mga tao, hindi natin maiiwasan to. Yung pagtatanong ng, pwede pa makahingi ng tingi, 'di ba? Sa ibang bansa kasi walang hindi mo makikita or hindi mo mapapansin na ang mga tao sa ibang bansa ay hindi humihingi ng tingi. Pero dito sa Pilipinas is parang natural na lang sa atin yung pagiging pag-ano ng produkto ng tingi-tingi, 'di ba? Kunwari sa product ng sugar sa ibang bansa bumibili ka ng buo-buo, pero dito sa Pilipinas parang may mga tindahan or may mga product na kaperanggot lang, parang gumagawa lang sila ng product na kayang bilhin ng isang tao. So, fourth is demographic macro environment. So, what is demographic macro environment? No? Consists of change in population characteristics. These include population rate, gender, age, income composition patterns, civil status, and family size. So, dito sa demographic macro environment kasi dito nagbabago or dito nagbabago yung population or yung characteristic ng population. For example naman dito, yung population increase rate particular para sa marketing efforts. So, dito, positive shift is yung gender and age composition pa. So, can be utilized or may opportunities ang mga marketers para sa age or gender. For example, dito yung age and gender, may specific product like sa gender, sa pangbabae may sanitary napkin, and sa mga age naman for child is may mga toys na product para sa mga mambibili. So, parang dito nagkaka-opportunities yung mga nambebenta dahil may specific na product para sa age, gender, or ano pa man yan. So, yun yung demographic macro environment. Fifth is technological macro environment. So, what is technological macro environment? Composed of current and implementing technological change. This is something the single factors that can cause the rapid acceleration or being about the demise of product, service, or company. So, sa technological macro environment, when it comes kasi na technological, alam naman na natin na technology. So, sa technological macro environment, dito naman kasi nagbabago yung mga technology. Parang dito nagde-develop yung mga iba't ibang electronic. For example na lang sa Samsung. Sa Samsung, may fingerprint sila. So, ngayon naman, nakita ng isang company, which is ang Huawei, Ngayon, dahil walang ganun ang Huawei, ngayon nag-develop din sila. Naglagay din sila ng fingerprint and naglagay din sila ng face passcode para lang mapansin kung ano yung produkto nila. Yun yung technological macro environment. Nagbabago ang isang technology. For last, number 6 is natural macro environment. So what is natural macro environment? Natural macro environment refers to a natural resource, inputs, and environmental concern. When it comes natural environment, ito yung nakapaloob dito sa ating mundo. When it comes kasi ang natural environment, ito yung um, dito analyze ang natural environment must we include climates. Often refers to as acts of God. So when it comes acts of God, dito nakapaloob yung earthquake, landslide, volcanic eruption, or ano pa, others. And specific graphical areas of the world are particular susceptible to these climates. So, kunwari, dito sa area na, doon sa prone ng area, bilang isang business or bilang isang marketers, kailangan mo mag-operates or di kaya, kunwari na lang din sa mga nag, nag, nagtitinda ng mga flashlight, kailangan ng mga, kunwari sa earthquake or landslide, kailangan ng mga needs na needs sa need doon sa prone countries kung ano yung kung sino yung nasalanta, 'di ba? Bilang isang business, dito umiikot yung business mo na na may opportunities ka dito also abound these localities. There are called higher demands. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko na may opportunities kayo dito bilang isang marketers kasi there could be a higher demands for flashlight, power generating units, medical survival kits, and other goods needed for the frequency emergency. So, yun lang yung kailangang intindihin dito sa natural macro environment na ang natural macro environment, ito lang yung mga needs ng mga nasalanta or bilang isang marketer, yun lang yung kailangan mong ibigay bilang isang ibigay sa pangangailangan ng mga nasalanta. After all factors are included in macro environment, dadako naman tayo sa identifying opportunities and threats. So, although both opportunities and threats are external in nature and essential and controllable. So, sa opportunities kasi is favorable to a company and therefore can be capitalized on. While in threats are unfavorable and requires mitigation. So, dito kasi, na ano natin na ang opportunity and threats is external talaga siya when it comes to business. Ang opportunities is favorable siya sa company. While the threats is unfavorable siya and requires the mitigation. So, for example na lang dito, yung can take advantage of the increasing economic growth in the Visayas by developing the market through the opening in outlets in the region. So, through product development, fruits, juice manufacturer can develop a healthy line of vegetarage to minimize and avoid the potential threats or increase tax on its current product. So, dito, sa example na to, na uh, may opportunity sila sa isang lugar, sa isang located nila kung saan sila, sa kunwari sa Visayas, may opportunity sila doon para magtayo ng fruit juice na manufacturer Candibel na may healthy line. So, ang threats naman dito is may iwasan nila yung pagtaas ng tax sa kanilang produkto.